Hi guys, welcome back to Journey Teachers. Today we are recording a very special podcast episode with Ishan Sood. Hi Ishan,
Hi Kriti,
how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
How was your day today till here?
Just got done with the classes and now I'm here.
Okay,
Went well.
what's happening? How's life?
Things are going great. I am in my final semester of masters, so on the academic front, it's going great. And personally, I'm working on a few gigs and few projects, so that's all. But yeah, I'm keeping some time aside for my self care as well. So
That's the
yeah,
most important thing, I believe.
yeah.
So, Ishan and I are going to talk about a lot of things today. He is a soft skills trainer and he's given various training sessions. He has a wonderful experience in soft skills and been a certified trainer in that. So, we'll talk about various skills, how to go about developing various skills. So let's start with there are two types of skills, right? Soft skills and hard skills. So ये होता क्या exactly? What is hard skills and what are soft skills?
Right. So, whenever you enter any industry, the two skills that you mentioned as well are hard skills and soft skills. Now, hard skills are those core skills which you acquire through a rigorous theoretical backing, or there is a theoretical backing in that. These can include your technical writing, your design, UX, UI. For technical people, it can be coding or any sort of back end, front end web developers. So these are the kind of soft skill, the hard skills that you acquire through a rigorous training. And soft skills are the skills that back you up when you enter an industry, and they go hand in hand. Soft skills comprise of your presentation, your interview taking skills, public speaking skills, articulation skills, and negotiation, crisis management. All of these are a subsidiary, एंड ये सब जब इसके साथ हार्ड स्किल्स के साथ कंबाइन होते हैं तब वो एक आपका पर्सनैलिटी इन्हांस बहुत करता है. व्हेन यू एंटर अ कॉर्पोरेट इंडस्ट्री दे लुक फॉर योर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. सो दीज डेज अकॉर्डिंग टू रिपोर्ट्स ऑल्सो हार्ड स्किल्स के साथ सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आर वेरी मैंडेटरी. सो दैट्स largely the difference.
So basically, what I'm doing right now is a soft skill for me because I'm
For
taking
sure.
an interview.
Definitely, it is a soft skill, and in fact, one of the most important soft skills is presentation and interview skills. So that's what we train. I also, as a soft skills trainer, train my mentees and my uh, batch students in equipping them with the interview skills. So this is a great start to that.
Glad. So let's go about with some examples. Maybe you can list down some soft skills, and I'll ask you specific questions regarding it. So starting with leadership, for example. So what should one person have in him or her to have the leadership qualities?
All right. Leadership is a lifelong skill. You're not a born leader. Leaders are not born, they are made. We have all heard of that statement. But how exactly is it true is the question. So when I talk about leadership in forums or discussions or in an interview setting, I always tell that leadership is a lifelong skill. You cannot be a leader in a day, you cannot be a leader in a month or even a year. It takes years of consistent working towards that kind of mindset. So leadership comes from a mindset that it's a responsibility that is bestowed upon you, and it's not a sort of a prize. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि आप एक लीडर बन गए तो then you are just dominant about that. That doesn't make a good leader. A good leader should have some qualities which are by rule book very archaic and traditional, but when it comes to mentality wise, it's the way they think. It's the quick, rational, critical thinking which comes into play that brings a leader and makes a leader a true in every sense. So that's what leadership means to me, and I think that's what most of the entrepreneurs and leaders in the industry believe in.
Right, because when you have the responsibility within you that you have to lead a team, so that is what you have to practice on the field as well. So what about team building? If I think I have a startup, or maybe I want to just hire people for my company, so how to go about it? मैं एक team कैसे खड़ी करूँ basically?
Right. So the first step to starting a team is knowing your team well, because this is what we train also as mentors or as trainers, that know your audience well. One of the basic models that we look out for is the Aristotle model, age long model, सदियों से चला आ रहा है कि know your audience well. But how do you do that? So that's the question. That is what comes to our mind when you suppose, imagine, I'm just narrating an example. You have a crowd of 50 to 60 members in front of you. Now, before you begin your speech, they are coming with a prerequisite, predestined mindset. कि कोई घर पे लड़ के आया है, कोई breakfast नहीं करके आया. Somebody is like, why am I sitting for this? I didn't sign up for this. So all sort of preconceived notions they bring, and they're sitting there. And the focus, I always mention this, that when you are taking a public speaking session, the focus is never on you. The focus is on the audience. You know, an arrow has this sort of direction. So the arrow's pointed edge is directed towards the audience. And when you want them to have that attention and give that attention to you, the focus is on the audience. There is a dynamic shift. This is what most of the people make a mistake when they want to start something. The focus is the audience. So in order to get them into the team, first they should feel that they are likable, they are going to be a part of a team, they will be emotionally valued, and lastly they feel valued in holistic sense, that it's not just academic fulfillment. Because हमारा डोपामिन कैसे काम करता है, बेसिक अगर हम साइकोलॉजी में जाए, I'm not going to go deep into those stuff, being a psychology student as well, is that when you talk to people, you get to know what is something that they want. Power, desire, attention, all those things are primary instincts as how human beings have evolved. So you catch the basic psyche or gauge the basic attention of those people and fulfill those requirements for them, and in an organic way, not like you are so amazing and that person doesn't even know how to take an interview or something. So don't just blabber anything that comes to your mind, but know the person, read your audience is what I would say. And once you know your people, then you can filter out, oh, this person is good, this is something that I can work around, and then you fine tune those people and bring them into your team. That's the best way to go forward.
Know the team first, and then
Yeah,
you know,
read
break
your
them up.
audience. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
And I love that example, Machli ki aankh, Arjun ka teer.
Yeah.
I love that. So, interview ke liye, when you know people go for an interview and they have to make a career out of it, they have to like get the job. So, how to go about it? What are the necessities which they should keep in mind while preparing for an interview?
Right. Beginning with an interview can be a little challenging and intimidating at the same time. You need to focus on your hard skills will take care of themselves, because you have that academic grounding in college via your subjects and via your theoretical
Yeah.
underpinnings. But soft skills is something that you need to cultivate. Once you attempt an interview, there's a whole lot of science and a social science, I would not call it science, but a social science that goes into play, because the employer wants a human, they don't want a machine. They can get the work done out of generative AI, Gemini, Chat GPT, वो सब है, वो आपको जितना content आप चाहते हो वो आपको निकाल के देगा. But they want a human with proper emotions, which is very, very important when it comes to. So those skills you should possess. One is a strong communication. Strong communication, I would not call, and don't confuse it with a language barrier, because English is just a medium of communication. If you're comfortable and you're confident about something, it can be learned. It's a skill. Second is a pleasant body language, demeanor, what I would call. Because if you are in an interview setting, so I would not slouch back like this, or I would not keep it like this. This is called a defensive stance. I would preferably not keep a stance like this in an interview, because this gives a kind of a negation to the employer. So you can practice this, which I tell my mentees and in my training sessions as well. This is a very powerful position that you can keep. Like the first, yeah. So it is like you keep your thumbs intact and your what do you say, the index finger, and then you cross the other three. And this is a very powerful sign
Mm.
when you go in an interview. If it's a table, you can keep it like this. If it's a little awkward, then you can just keep it like this.
Like this.
Yeah.
Mm.
So a positive body language is very, very important. And be confident of what you speak. Don't fumble. Take your own time. Pause is very important when it comes to taking an interview. And as we progress in this interview also, which you are taking for your channel, I want you to look at the number of times I use filler words like okay, so, yeah. Qualifiers and fillers are something that I want you to notice in this interview. That you can keep it as a takeaway when you conduct your future interviews or when you guide your community as well. So that's one thing that I always tell. Take a pause. It's better to fill the gap with a quality amount of silence rather than saying something that is not meant to be. So I think that covers up for a lot of qualifiers and mistakes and fillers that you want to add.
And in fact, I'm realizing now when you say this that for me to respond to whatever you are saying, I'm also using yes, you are right.
Right.
Those
It's
kind
a skill. It can be learned. So you're doing quite well when you're taking this, but it's a skill. It's a lifelong skill, I said. It can be cultivated. It can be practiced. And that's how
Right.
you learn.
So, for example, when you are going for an interview, so your employer actually opens up the resume. So, what are those key points that one should have in their resume? I think that is also, kind of a skill that you have to have a good resume for that your employer should take notice of that.
Okay. Resume is a short form of CV, which is the curriculum vitae. It's a longer uh, portfolio of a person. CV needs to be one page. First of all, it needs to be one page. Then it should clearly note down or list down the points that the person is supposed to show to the employer. What is something that, if I ask you, Kriti, what is something that you want to show to the employer as a beginning statement, as an opening statement? Besides your name, your address, your qualification, what are the skills that you have? So you mentioned your hard skills, your internship experience, your work experience, and then you back it up with your leadership experience. And leadership experience can be in any field, whether it's your soft skills, whether it's your interviews, blogs, posts, trainings, seminars, sessions. All of those are very, very important, which people miss out. And you must be knowing that there are automated tracking systems when it comes to uh, putting out those resumes, because वो बाहर निकाल देते हैं उनको, तो track होता है. So that ATQ is there. ATQ is a tracking system. So follow that. You can find it online, but make sure that you mention all the skills, especially the soft skills, because hard skills, as I said, they will take care of themselves. You know about them. Soft skills, you need to enlist them, and in such a way that it doesn't look abstract. Oh, good at time management. Time management in what? Was there a project that you took up which took very less time instead of the time that it was supposedly supposed to take? Was there a crisis management situation that you handled really well? So these are things that you mention and you put it up in your resume.
Right. I think the academics part of it is designed in such a way that the hard skills will be taken care of. But if we want to go about building a soft skill, for example, right now I decide कि consciously I make a choice कि I have to build a soft skill, for example, anything. So how to go about it? What are the resources I can refer to, or what is the process I can follow?
All right. Soft skills are something that you practice over a period of time. Any skill, be it be hard skill or soft skill, or whether it's for sports person also. We recently had the Olympics, so we all of us were very in जोश में थे सब लोग कि oh, I also want to play this. Oh, I could have played this sport, but it takes years to build those skills. And anything that you practice, same rule: 21 days, 90 days, then you keep it for lifelong. That's how you build a skill, a habit, and a lifestyle. So if I take an example of a soft skills like public speaking, I had public speaking first stint when I was in third standard. I was chosen as the main MC of my school. I was toddlers. Third में बच्चे बहुत छोटे ही होते हैं. But one thing that I was pretty confident about, and that's something that Touchwood I believe in as well, is I never had stage fear. I was somebody who could speak to any amount of audience, whether it is 1500 people or 15,000 people or 1,50,000 people. I was not afraid of speaking in front of an audience from childhood. So in third standard in my school, it was an ICSE school back in my hometown, I got an opportunity to be the main MC for the annual function. And the chief guest was somebody who was a public speaker. So थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड के बच्चे को क्या ही पता होता है, बट आई वॉज सो पैशनेट अबाउट इट कि मेरे को करना है, सो आई प्रैक्टिस डे इन एंड डे आउट. And of course, with my parents' support, they were very supportive of this, especially my mom. She wanted me to be so sure of the script कि अगर मेरे सामने script नहीं भी है, still I can read. So that's why I never keep my scripts whenever I take sessions. Even if I note down some points, I hardly refer to them because it's all in the mind. It's all experiential. So you need to first practice it. Second, have immense amount of interest in it. अगर आपका किसी चीज में passion नहीं है, आप वो नहीं pursue कर सकते. Suppose I graduate out of Christ University in 6 months and I join as a technical writer and I don't have that forte and interest. मैं 6 महीने तक वो काम करूंगा, 1 साल तक करूंगा. Will I continue that if I don't have interest in that? And if I'm not able to keep that thing for long because daily मेरे को वही चीज करनी है. So as we heard in ये जवानी है दीवानी, दाल चावल for 50 साल. So life में should be some butter chicken, some pav bhaji and all. So to bring that interest into the picture, you should be very passionate about it. And then you practice and you watch YouTube tutorials. YouTube is a free resource, guys. I mean, needless to say, you don't need to buy those expensive and extravagant paid programs. All of the things you can learn from YouTube. It's a free resource for all the countries, irrespective of where you live. Utilize it well, learn those skills, build a network. Mentoring is one of the things that even I, being a trainer, learn from my mentors who are in the industry for the last 5 to 10 years. So I sit with them and I notice the way how they take things forward. So that's very important. So if I sum it up in what do you say, in 2 or 3 sentences. First is practice, then is having a positive body language and extreme amount of passion for what you want to do. Third is finding a like-minded network that helps you in growing that field. And fourth is persistence, that you need to stick to it no matter what.
Wonderful. I think practice makes the man perfect, what we have heard from these years. So that was really a good example. So how to, like, जो भी हम soft skills बनाते हैं, we go about monetizing it, right? So what is it that, for example, मैंने public speaker बन गई, मैं एक skill बना लिया, communication हो गई. So what is that? What is the next step? It's monetization or making use for it for your personal branding. So how to go about that process?
Yeah, definitely you cannot get famous in 7 days, right? It's not a crash course कि public speaking आ गई, you did a session and you become instantly famous. It's a slow, organic process. Of course, you can buy followers, which is very likely, but that's not going to sustain the market because it's, to be a shark in the fish tank, you first need to be a smaller fish. So shark बनने के लिए you need to first attend these sort of sessions, seminars, guest workshops, and network. Networking is one of the most important skills which I have learned over the years, that network with like-minded people. And even if they're not like-minded, you cannot find like-minded people so easily. Network with people who are doing well in the area that you want to pursue. वो कौन से लोग हैं जो उस फील्ड में आज टॉप पे हैं, उनके साथ एसोसिएट करो. अगर आप उन लोगों के साथ कांटेक्ट नहीं भी कर पा रहे हो, देन लुक आउट फॉर पीपल हु आर doing pretty well in the field. For me, it has worked. Like, one of the mentors that I always look up to is working in corporate. So I network with those people in Bangalore. If I live in Bangalore, I network with public speakers, soft skills trainers, corporate trainers in Bangalore. So look around your vicinity, you will find that network, and that helps you build and monetize your skill. Once you have a network, you can monetize it as well, no matter the mode. So I'm not going to get into the mode of it. That's something that is individual and you can figure it out as you get the mentorship.
I feel like the most important thing about networking is to reach out to people, because people can take the first step of going into a networking event. But how to go about talking with certain people, and what is the first step of networking that people are most afraid about? So, what is from your experience you would want to tell? Maybe some networking story, which made actually a lot of sense and actually brought opportunities to you.
One particular example that I would like to quote here is,
Hmm.
imagine, Kriti, you're in a lift of a top skyscraper. It has 25 floors, and you get into it and you see the CEO of Zomato,
I'll
or
use my elevator pitch there.
yeah, that's perfectly sums it up. You have to use the pitch.
Hmm.
Those 30 seconds till the time the lift reaches the floor where the CEO or the person is supposed to get out, what is that you will bring there? You will not tell, oh, my hard skills are this, my soft skills are this, I've done this, यहाँ पे मैंने ये किया वो किया. नहीं. You have
Resume won't work there, right?
resume is something that will not work. That's where your critical thinking, your soft skills come into play. You can't show like ये मेरा resume है, job नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता. So you need to be very, very practical, be very clear in your mind that what you say. So just an example, if you're in a elevator pitch, in an elevator, and you have to pitch to a CEO, first know the person, who the person is. Suppose if the CEO is Dipinder Goyal, if I'm correct, is the CEO of Zomato. So you know that they are doing pretty well in the marketing, and you have seen that what kind of messages that they send.
Hmm.
So you tell them, sir, I really liked, and bring an anecdote from a personal experience. Sir, I really liked the marketing for the Raksha Bandhan that just went, and it was phenomenal when you put it up. So also, sir, I was thinking that I am also in this field, and I think this is something that can be put up. Like, can we bring an influencer from the local ground who can pitch it like that? So you offer them a solution as well as you refer to an anecdote, and you also talked about their particular. So you created a want. A want was born out of it. So you created a hypothetical want which was not there prior in the mind of Dipinder or the CEO you are meeting, and that sort of impresses the person that, oh, he has read me well, he has read my company well, he's very confident of what he's speaking, and he's still offering me. So 95% they will get back to you, or they'll at least give you a card, or hey, reach out to me here. So that's
Some
the
contact.
yeah, so that's the click that you have to what you make, and then you take it forward.
Yeah, talking about Zomato, only yesterday I ordered some gift from my brother, and I really loved their marketing strategy because they were using AI along with reaching out to actor. I think Rajkumar Rao and Sara Ali Khan was there, so they were making a personalized video message for gifting to your brother or sister by replacing their lip syncing with the name. So I have to give the name of my brother, and they will the actor will particularly speak the name. I think Cadbury also used this for their Diwali campaign while they were supporting small
With
businesses.
Shah Rukh Khan, I guess.
Yeah, with Shah Rukh Khan, yes. So that's a brilliant use of AI in the marketing campaigns which they are using. So, what else about soft skills? Because the thing is, we develop soft skills, we monetize it, and but how to practice it in form of in your daily life while you cultivate it. So how to go about that practice?
Soft skills definitely need to be practiced daily on a regular basis. If we are talking, I'm not going to quote an example because you're talking soft skills as a domain. So it includes all the soft skills that we mentioned before. So all the aforementioned soft skills can be designated a time. Can you find some case studies that you can just have a look every day? Can you find some brand stories which resonate with your soft skills? So in my case, I practice this with my mentors and with in my training sessions. There's a team building exercise called as Contact. Have you heard of the game Contact?
Not really.
Okay, so the game Contact, I'm not going to explain the rules of the game, but the game Contact is a team building exercise where you divide the people into a set of two. Suppose if team A has 5 people, team B has 5 people, you make the team A guess 5 words, write down 5 words, and then you send one person to the other team and they have to guess it by just saying a phrase. So that checks the compatibility of your team dynamics. So that's a very good exercise that you do in team building settings. One, it ensures that you know your team well, teammates are bonding well, it's a bonding exercise. Secondly, you get a ulterior motive out of it, that it's a team building exercise that's happening, and that particularly sort of brings your agenda into play, the narrative that you're trying to set, it builds the base for that. So those sort of skills activities you have to look out for, search, practice, and then you bring it into your consistent everyday lifestyle. That's the best way to learn, and it gives rich dividends. Any habit practiced consistently for 90 days becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true. And if you're enjoying it, because if you consider that as a necessity and if you want to continue on that path, that really helps you. So, what is the most valuable and the most maybe missed out skill which is ongoing in the real world out there in the industry?
There are a lot of skills which are valued at the industry, your hard skills. But one of the most underrated skills which I feel needs to be appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed is a pleasant smile, because and a pleasant body language. Because a lot of people are very defensive when they interact with, like, hey, what's up? Yeah, how's your day? And I don't know what to do next. I'm very stuck in this loop. Yeah, I mean, and they have that sort of cribbing mentality. All of us are tired. All of us have the same routine, monotony, and in order to excel at your field and to be quote unquote likable in the industry, and likable, I don't mean that you have to be flamboyant and you need to show your richness. It's just a positive body language, because positive body language is contagious. It spreads like, what will a pleasant smile do? Just you need not to say, oh, your dress looks fine, you look, I mean, that's up to you how you want to take it, but just a positive body language and a genuine compliment is something that really works. Can you find out something in their work area that you really like? Yeah, I really like the pitch that you made in the work yesterday, at work
Hmm.
yesterday. And that sort of gives them, oh, somebody really noticed what I spoke. So that means that gives them the confidence also कि यार मैंने भी कुछ अच्छा किया, मतलब मेरा भी कल कुछ अच्छा हुआ. And that sort of creates a positive environment, and that's how your body should be, because not everybody is your friend in corporate, but you can have amicable sort of relationship with your employees once you start exchanging pleasantries. They're very important. We see this in abroad. My sister lives in Denmark, and Netherlands, and she uh, sort of told me about this culture which they have. It's a Thanksgiving culture. Whatever you do, like, even if a rag picker comes and they pick up their stuff, and what was the last time where you thanked a rag picker coming to your home and taking up things? You never do, right? Because it's not something that we have grown up to looking in
It's
India.
not in our culture,
It's
right?
not in our culture, and more than not being in our culture, it's not even in our mindset as
Hmm.
well. So that's the change that I noticed, which she was referring to, that bring Thanksgiving a lot in your everyday life. Say thanks for something that you really liked, or something that they offered. Okay, thanks for doing that, man. I mean, appreciated. That sort of pleasantry and Thanksgiving should be brought into our. So these are some of the etiquettes I think that are missing in action in the corporate world, and that should really help, I guess.
Yeah, and talking outside from the corporate as well, if we enter a mall, we see the
Yeah,
security guard. They always
the
fold
forum
our
mall.
hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and but most of us, we just go in ignoring that person standing. So that's a small gesture which we can, maybe just uh, pass a smile, or maybe just like do like this, greet them. So that is, soft skills are not just for corporate, but developing in your day-to-day routine life, that also makes your life way much better. So what is it to get hired in 2024? What is that? Uh,
I'm still
how
figuring that out.
because you will soon be sitting for your placements as well. So how to get hired in 2024?
Getting hired today is not at all easy, and I am still figuring it out, even though if I have 6 months to go for my placements. But your hard skills are very important, which you will, of course, I think, figure it out, because if you want to get hired, you need to know your skills, which are very important. If I talk about the soft skills, one of the most important is knowing your employer, about the company. Read about the company which you are applying to. If you're sitting for an interview, they expect you to know a certain degree of skills and how they carry about their day-to-day workings. If I'm applying at Deloitte, know about Deloitte. What is their working culture? What role are you applying to? Of course, you will read about all those things, but dig a dig a little bit deeper into the picture and see if you can connect to somebody on LinkedIn. Check out the LinkedIn profile. You see a lot of people stalking on Instagram, so stalking on LinkedIn is same. Just get to know the person before you're. If you can get an opportunity to know who is going to interview, it's very unlikely, but if you know who's going to take your interview, read about them a bit from LinkedIn, from any other platform that's available, Naukri.com, or any other open source forum that is available, and dress well, because a lot of people don't focus on the attire. Dressing well to an interview is very, very important. People think that they can casually take it, and then when they get hired, because those things are supposed to be known when you enter an industry. It's not like college where you can just wear a hoodie and then you go, because it's a professional setting. One second you're getting paid for what you work. There are real clients. There is no CIA repeat, midsem repeat there. So you need to dress well to the occasion. Keep it minimal. Don't overdress. Use a tie if you can. A nicely, or what do you say, uh, ironed shirt, pant, and I think you're good to go. If stick to a blazer, a light colored blazer if you can. Otherwise, it's fine, good to go. And personal grooming is important, guys.
Well, I stalked you on LinkedIn as well to frame questions around this podcast. So, and I noticed one thing. I came to know that you are the founder of Advantage Interest University, and you have a strong personal brand since you have founded that club. So, tell me about Advantage.
Sure. So Advantage, it's a soft skills under Department of Media Studies, School of Arts and Humanities. It's a soft skills club catering to all the skills that we discussed today in the interview. And I'm pretty sure that this podcast will reach to the team as well. And we have a really dynamic and a wonderful team there, people who are working on their soft skills. So we provide them the hands-on experience. We conduct workshops. So that is one of our main mantra. And our in the upcoming months, we are having our flagship event as well, which is building these soft skills when how to get hired when you enter an industry. So these are the skills that we train the members, and they get perks of having a hands-on experience along with a lot of fun, because we don't want to make it theoretical and any other club in the university. So we focus on the fun factor as well. We organize a lot of challenges, outings, then trainings, workshops, outside excursions, lunches. So I think that's something that keeps the team going, and yeah, that's what Advantage is all about.
Full practical on-field experience. So I
Definitely.
feel like college is covering the academics part of it, and Advantage covers the soft skills building and the real corporate experience. Right. So thank you so much, Ashan, for coming here and sharing your wonderful insights. I really loved your experiences, the examples which you gave. Thank you so much for sharing
Thanks a lot
your
to you
knowledge.
as well. Yeah, it was indeed a wonderful experience, and thanks to you. Your questions were quite inquisitive, and they made me ponder a lot upon and reflect upon my journey. And it's a wonderful initiative by you as well, Kriti. So thank you for providing me a space to come up and speak on the very important soft skills that get you hired, and especially like that get you a network. And because I'll end with this statement: network is your net worth. That's pretty much about it.